Hello everyone, 60-minute Hatha class today. The focus is going to be on the upper body, so we're going to get lots of that opening going on. No props are needed today, so just your body and your mat are perfectly fine. I'm Kaycie, this is my lovely demo Erica, and let's jump in. Starting from a seated position on your mat, you can sit towards the top of your mat or anywhere along the way. We can reposition as needed. Take your hands down onto your lap any way that feels right. Lifting the spine nice and tall. Feel a gentle lift of your shoulder blades. Pull them back and gently drape them down away from your ears. And just feel yourself connect inward here for a moment, especially when we spend so much of our day outwardly focused on things outside of ourselves. Let this be your time to fully let that go and to anchor into how you are feeling, what's going on inside. So first, just take note of any physical tension or physical presence in the body that needs a little extra attention or love. Notice where your mind is drawn to. Start to take inventory of your thoughts. Sometimes there are very specific thoughts that continuously come up. Sometimes our minds are busy, just bouncing around. So we're going to utilize our breath and allowing it to be a tool to help us release through the clutter of those thoughts and to find more clarity and connection to the present moment. So with the eyes closed, first just notate where your breath is in its natural rhythm. We're going to expand upon this. So first, we're just going to take a couple deep breaths with a nice cleansing sigh. Release first, come to the very bottom of that breath. And then slowly through the nose, begin to draw the breath in through the belly. Draw it up into your rib cage and all the way up into your chest, holding it here. Feel the entire back body opening, the side body. Open your mouth. And exhale, let it all the way out. Again, through the nose, slowly breathing in, filling up, expanding out in all directions as the breath rises, lifting to the top and holding it here. Open your mouth and let it all the way out. And then seal the lips. Feel the breath now just moving in and out of your nose. And instead of feeling as though you have to take your fullest, deepest breaths possible, I want you to focus instead on just finding a nice rhythm. Full, expansive, something you can maintain throughout the practice. And in this practice, as well as other movement-based yoga practices, we come into Ujjayi breath. So lightly constricting the airway down the back of your throat. Nice oceanic wave sound. The thoughts begin to dissipate as you feel more present and more relaxed into yourself, just by breathing. Focused, intentional breath. Let's take one more here. Continue to lift the spine. Feel your hands draw together at the heart center as the heart gently lifts towards the thumbs. And set an intention to guide you throughout your practice today. And then slowly blink open through your eyes. Interlace your fingers here And as you interlace the fingers, start to press the palms down, extending out through the arms, and then slowly stretch the arms forward in front of you. Now we're going to hold it right here. So with the arms extended forward, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, you're going to press through the palms, round your upper back. And just feel a little extra press as though you're creating more space between the shoulder blades. And then on your next inhale, start to retract the shoulders, pull them back towards each other as though you're trying to pinch a grate between them. And then exhale, press and round. Really just focusing on the upper body here, trying not to get the lower half involved just yet. Inhaling, pulling them back, opening up the chest. And then exhale, pressing slight round. Now from here, inhale, lift the arms all the way up over your head. Holding, find your breath once again. If you need a slight bend into the elbows, that's okay. Or if you need to bring the arms a little more forward in front of you, that's also okay. Now inhale, start to press the palms up, lift the shoulder blades as high up towards the ears as you can. And then exhale, relax the shoulders down a bit here, creating a little more space. Again, inhale, pressing. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Feel all the muscles around the scapula helping to support and lift. And then exhale, relax the shoulder blades. We're going to do that one more time. Inhaling, pressing up, lifting through the shoulders. And then exhale, relax them a bit. Bend the elbows and take the palms behind the back of the head. Keep the fingers interlaced. Open up the elbows nice and wide and just let your head cradle back into your hands. If it feels good, you can kind of open the chest side to side a little bit here. Make your way back to center. Really lift the heart. Feel your sit bones try to pull back behind you. Deep breath in. And on the next exhale, drop your chin towards your chest, round your back, start to curl it in, tuck the tail, and feel your elbows drop towards each other. Inhaling, lift the spine, open up the elbows again, begin to lift the chest, tilt your gaze up, sit bones drop back, and then exhaling, rounding, curling back in. Take a couple more and just begin to link up the movement with your breath. Last one. Now, as the head lifts back up to center on your next inhale, hold it here. Start to pull the elbows back. Release your fingertips and feel the elbows pull back and all the way down to your sides. Hands follow. And then pull the shoulder blades forward and up. Exhale, roll them all the way back and down. We're going to extend the right leg long in front of us, bringing the left foot to the inner thigh. And then just take that right leg and open it out a little bit wider out to the right side. So it's kicked off a little bit here. We're going to open into the side body, opening all the way up into the shoulder. Right hand is going to rest to the inside of that right leg. And we're going to use it as a little bit of leverage. If at any point you want to go deeper, you can slide the arm to the inside of the leg as much as it feels appropriate for you. So begin to reach the left arm, and instead of reaching it out and all the way up, which is still okay, but can often create a little bit of a pinch or some restricted movement through the shoulder, lift the left hand forward and up, all the way up. Nice. Lift the spine a little bit taller. And then exhale, start to walk the right hand down the leg, maybe bend the elbow, take it to your depth as you stretch the left arm over your head, reaching over to that right side, and then really press your right hand or arm to the inside of that leg to help open up your ribs and chest towards the ceiling. Extending those fingertips overhead so you're getting a nice elongation from your left hip all the way out to your fingertips. One more breath. Inhale, slowly come all the way up and just drop the left fingertips down to the ground. Okay, let's drop the hands back for a moment and just switch the legs. Left leg goes out slightly to the left side, right foot pulls towards the inner thigh. It doesn't have to fully connect. Sitting yourself back up, left hand to the inside of the left leg or forearm. Right hand reaches forward and up. Lift the spine, deep breath in, a little bit taller. And then exhale, lean off to the left side, maybe walk the hand down the inside of the leg, maybe start to bend the elbow. Find that leverage point where you can press the arm into the inside of the leg to help roll the ribs and chest open towards the ceiling. And with that top arm, really try to stretch it over to the left, extending long through the fingertips. Fingertips are super active, and that right hip is sinking heavy. Last breath. Inhale, come all the way up and let your right fingertips drop down to the ground. Set both hands behind you, setting both feet to the ground with the knees bent, and just little windshield wipers here. So you're gonna stay in this position. I'm gonna adjust myself on the mat a little bit so you can get a better focal point, but you can stay right where you are. Keep the weight dropped back onto the hands. And as the knees come back to center, you're gonna angle your fingers away from each other, so out to the sides. So fingers pointing to the sides of your mat. Nice. And then from here, start to bend your elbows towards one another. Doesn't matter how much, just start to bend them in. Feel that point where they stop, and then keep that there. Slowly start to lift up through your ribs and your chest, lifting your focal point up. 3 deep breaths. Last one. Straighten the arms, drop back down through the chest. Now sitting yourself back up into a cross-legged seated position. Okay. One of my favorite shoulder exercises here, and we'll kind of build upon it. So reach the arms forward in front of you, palms up, and try to keep the arms parallel with the shoulders the entire time. They're gonna wanna sink down, okay? Begin to bend your elbows, and then start to move your elbows towards one another. They don't have to touch, and chances are, if the shoulders are really tight, they won't touch, okay? And if they don't, connect your hands and really try to drive the elbows towards one another as much as you can while lifting them up to the height of the shoulders. Now, if the elbows do touch and you want a little bit more, keep the elbows, but start to separate the hands and inner forearms. Keep squeezing, hold here for 3, keep breathing. 2, and 1. Relax your arms to your sides. Go ahead and roll your shoulders out a few times here. So we're gonna do that 2 more times, but we're gonna add upon it, or you're gonna stick with it if that already feels pretty intense. If it feels too much for the flexibility, stick with that variation. Otherwise, I'll give deeper variations to go a little bit more into the shoulders. Arms reach forward, palms are up. Bend the elbows. Make sure elbows are the height of the shoulders and slowly start to move them towards each other. So if the elbows don't touch, stay here. Otherwise, you're gonna lift your right elbow up slightly, and then you're gonna cross the right elbow over the top of that left arm. Nice. Now you can bring the backs of your hands together to touch, or if it's available, bring the front of the palms to touch. So either backs of hands or front of palms. Lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders, and then squeeze your elbows in towards each other and press your hands slightly away. Wherever you are, keep squeezing in. 3, 2, nice deep breath. 1, and then relax. Let your arms drop, roll the shoulders. Taking that time to kind of re-neutralize between sides. Okay, working into that other side, starting off the same way, arms extend forward with the palms up, bend the elbows, bring them towards each other, height of the shoulders. Stay here, or lift the left elbow up, cross it over the right arm, And either bring the backs of the hands to touch or weave the front of the palms to connect. Lift height of the shoulders, squeeze them in, and then maybe press your hands slightly forward to stack over the elbows. Another breath or two here. Last one. And then gently release. Arms to the sides, roll them out a little bit. Okay, focusing a little into the neck before we get some movement brewing here. So dropping the chin down towards the chest, and then roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And just feel it hovering right above the shoulder, keeping the rest of the spine nice and tall. Now, as you keep your head tilted to the right side, just imagine you're nodding your head slightly forward and back. So your ear is kind of rolling in front of the shoulder and then rolling behind the shoulder while staying over to that right side. One more breath. Let the ear come back over the shoulder, stay here. Slowly rotate your chin towards your right shoulder so you're looking back over it. Chin comes back to center and then let it drop to your chest. We're going to go into that other side, rocking the head over to the left, ear above the shoulder. And then slowly find those little nods forward and back, keeping the head to that left side. Just notice where those little sticky spots are. Trying to smooth them out. And then as your head comes back over to that left side, hovering above the shoulder, begin to rotate your chin towards the left shoulder, maybe gazing back over it. Chin forward, and then drop it down to your chest. And then lift the head all the way back up to center. Okay. Arms reach up, deep breath in. On your exhale, twist to the right side. Left hand grabs a hold of your right knee. Right fingertips to the ground, right behind the hips. Lift the spine, deep breath in. And exhale, twist, rotate ribs, chest, maybe focal point back over your right shoulder. 2 more breaths. Keep lifting a little bit taller and then feel that gentle twist on the exhale as you empty the breath. Last one. Now take your back fingertips, reach them all the way up as your spine unravels to center, but keep holding on to that right knee. And then you're going to take that right hand, cup it over the left knee and round your back, chin to chest. You can even kind of curl your tail under, lean back into it. Now, keeping your arms crossed, if you're leaned back far, come a little bit forward into the hips. You're going to release a hold of the knees and try to bend the elbows, come back into the eagle arms. If you need to take elbows to the inside of each other, you can. Otherwise, keep them crossed. Backs of the hands or front of palms touch. Lift to the height of the shoulders. This time, slightly different. Either stay by pressing forearms together, or if you're an eagle, start to lower your elbows down towards your ribs and imagine your hands are pulling towards the floor and just feel a slight difference. Lifting them back up. Wherever you are, release your arms. Inhale, sweep them up high, nice and tall over your head. Exhale, twist to the left side. Right hand grabs a hold of the knee, left fingertips to the ground. Lifting up, take a deep breath in, create space. And on your exhale, move into that space, rotating open to that left side. Maybe look back over the shoulder. 2 more breaths. Last one here. Then take the back hand, reach it up on an inhale. Feel the spine unravel to center. And then take that top hand, cup it over the right knee as you curl your spine. Lean back into it, chin to chest. If you leaned back, come forward slightly. Release the knees, begin to lift the hands into your variation, either forearms pressing or come into those eagle arms. Stay here, or maybe start to lower your elbows down towards the ribs. Keep squeezing in through the hands and elbows, maybe hands lower towards the ground. Releasing as you lift back up to center, arms sweep over your head, deep breath in. And like a big morning stretch, bend your elbows, open up your rib cage, and pull your elbows all the way down to your sides. And then roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, roll them all the way back and down. Nice. We're gonna come all the way down onto our bellies. So sweep the legs around to the side and slowly make your way down into a nice prone position on your belly. From your bellies here, let's take your hands, bring them underneath your shoulders, or line them up along the rib cage area, wherever it feels appropriate, and elbows draw in. Ground through the tops of your feet and feel your quads engage. We're gonna do 3 rounds of Cobra. So take your time, come up as high as it feels good. Inhale, peel your heart forward and up. Just that first round. Exhale, release it all the way back down. 2 more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Hold here on the exhale, really settle in. Feel the shoulders drape away from the ears, pulling them down the back. 1 more breath in. Ribs pull forward. And then exhale, come all the way down to the ground. We're gonna stay right here. Reach your right arm out to your right side with your palm down. And then begin to bend your left knee. You're gonna rest your right cheek down to the ground. And then press through that left hand to help press and roll up onto your right hip, onto the side body. And you can let your left foot drop to the ground behind you. You can rest the left leg on top of the right, whatever feels best. If you can set it behind you, let's go there. And really focus on opening up the front side of the body as though your top hip is pulling away from the ground, back behind you, and almost trying to roll your hips towards the ceiling. Left hand can stay here, or maybe drop it up and around to the lower back. You should feel a nice stretch into that right shoulder, into the chest, the spine, and the hips. 1 more breath. Let's take that left hand back over if you adjusted it. Use it to slow you down as you come back all the way onto your bellies. Take your time. And then once you're down onto your bellies again, switching sides, reach your left arm out to the left, palm down. Right hand plants underneath the shoulder as you drop your left cheek to the ground. Bend your right knee, and then press and roll off onto your left hip and side body. Foot drops to the ground behind you if available, otherwise just rest it on top. Nice, really feel the front of the body opening up, that top glutes rolling back towards the ground. Stay here, maybe right arm lifts and drops to the lower back. Couple more breaths. If you adjusted the arm, bring the right hand back in front of you. Slowly start to roll back onto your bellies and hips. Nice. Let's come up onto the forearms. Okay. From the forearms, elbows underneath your shoulders. We're going to play a little bit with the opening into the arms. So crossing your right forearm in front of the left. Fingers are going to point away from each other. Nice. Now slowly start to walk those fingers away from each other as much as you can, letting your weight sink down onto them, maybe just dropping your head. Few breaths. And then as the head lifts, begin to walk your elbows back out. Okay, and then we're gonna just switch. Bring the left forearm in front of the right. Fingers still pointing away, and same setup. Begin to walk the fingers out away from each other, finding that appropriate depth until you can lower all the way into your variation. Maybe let the head drop. Deep breath. Head lifts up. Slowly walk the elbows all the way back out. And just briefly here, let's lower the arms to your sides and just drop one side of your face to the ground. Switch your head to the opposite side. And as your head comes back to center, hands underneath your shoulders, let's press up into a tabletop position, coming up onto all fours. Now, adjust your hands and feet as much as you need to. You're going to tuck the toes and begin to lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Just pedal out your legs, shift around, find your alignment, lengthen to the spine, even if that means bending your knees a little or a lot. And as you pedal into your legs or move in the ways that feel good, just allow yourself to access more space and presence and awareness in your bodies and in your breath. Last breath here. Inhale, come up onto the toes, looking towards your hands, and just gently walk your way to the top of the mat. You can bend the knees as much as you'd like, and just come into a nice forward fold, feet hips width apart here. Let your arms and your upper body just fall heavy. Maybe grab a hold of your opposite elbows. Feel that little extra weight it creates. Maybe sway side to side. One more breath. We are going to move one bone at a time, so let your arms drop. Keep a bend into your knees. If it's not there already, just allow that bend. And then you're going to feel your tailbone reaching towards the ground as you slowly roll up through your lower back, stacking one bone at a time. Start to come up through your mid back. Keep your head heavy. Start to roll up through your upper back, your shoulders, and lastly, feel the head stack on top. Lift the shoulders up nice and tall, draw them back, and exhale, release them all the way down. Nice. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And as you interlace the fingers, you're going to reach the knuckles towards the floor. Even if the elbows don't fully straighten out, you can also take something between your hands, such as a belt or a strap, to help create a little space between the hands if you have one at home. Inhale, lift your chest as the knuckles draw down. Bend the knees and exhale, hinging forward and down. Let your head drop. Feel the knuckles trying to pull away from the back, maybe slightly overhead. Let the palms separate. They don't have to be connected. One more breath. And then stay in your forward fold. Feel your knuckles come towards the lower back. Release the hands and let them drape all the way down to the ground. We're going to go through some modified sun salutation A's. So from here, inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, any way that feels good, come up to standing. Reach up. Stretch the arms over your head and feel your chest lifting. And exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your waist. Come all the way back down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing, any which way that feels right for you. Open up the chest at the top of the breath. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. So if you're not at the front of your mat here, you can go ahead and walk yourself forward until you are, because we want to have space behind us. With the long spine, step your left foot towards the back of the mat. Nice. So we're in this runner's lunge position. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Plant the left hand down and inhale, reach your right arm all the way up. Nice. Press the floor away, open up the chest, extend through those fingertips. One more breath. Slowly set the right hand all the way back down. Take the back foot and open it up to a 90-degree angle. So as you set the heel, the toes should be pointing to the side of the mat. Inhale, come all the way up into a warrior two, and then straighten out the front leg. So with your legs nice and straight, activate in through the quadriceps. Start to reach forward as far as you can with the right hand. Keep reaching, keep reaching. And then set the right hand down either to your thigh or your shin, but avoid the knee altogether. Okay? Take your left hand to your waist. And then start to open up your ribs and your chest towards the ceiling. Nice long spine. So I don't want you to create an arch or a back bend here. The spine is long, the belly button hugs up and in, and just create space in front of you here. Now the hand that's at your hip, that left hand, instead of reaching all the way out to the side and over, okay, just like what we did when we're seating, right? This can create a little bit of tension and tightness into the shoulder. So instead, we're gonna take the hand, take it down to your side, and then slowly just stretch it over your head as though you're reaching your arms forward and up. Nice, so that left arm's extended over your ear, reach out through the fingertips, and then rotate your ribs and chest towards the ceiling. Maybe even look out towards the left hand. One more breath. Look down at the floor. Find a focal point to concentrate on here. As you inhale, come all the way up to standing. Flip your front palm. And then just reverse the triangle. Reach that right hand up and over. Your left hand can rest at the back leg, or it can wrap all the way around the back. Reach through those right fingertips as much as you can and press into that right foot. Then inhale, come up, take the arms to a T. Right toes are going to pivot to the side of the mat, so now the feet are parallel. And we're going to add a little external hip rotation. So let's let both feet just turn out slightly through the toes, just slightly. And then bend the elbows, and we're going to create little C grips over the tops of the thighs near the knees. Nice. Use those grips to press the thighs open away from each other as you kind of settle into the position. You can rock a little side to side. If you feel like you need to adjust your feet a little bit, you can. Just a couple breaths. Now as you come to center, slowly begin to drop your right shoulder down as though you're opening your chest to that left side, and press into your hands away from each other. One more breath. Bring the chest back to center, and then straighten out the legs, bring the feet parallel, and just kind of shake them out a little bit here. With the feet parallel, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. I like to open up the heels a little bit wider here, angling the toes in. Knuckles stretch down as you lift the chest up, breath in. And then exhale, hinge at your waist. Feel the arms pull away from the lower back, overhead. Let the head melt heavy. Another breath or two. Feel the knuckles come towards the back. And then release your hands, drop them all the way down to the ground. Long spine, breath in, extend the spine here. You're gonna walk your hands towards the right to the front of the mat as you pivot your feet to follow. And then just step forward to the top of your mat. Okay, we're gonna go through the exact same thing now on the other side. So inhale, lengthen the spine, halfway, chest reaches from the hips. Step back with your right foot this time. Find that nice lunge position. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Plant the right hand down here. Press the ground away as you open up ribs and chest. Left hand stretches high. Okay, we don't have to pull that arm back behind us. We just want to create a pressing, a nice long line of energy from the bottom hand all the way to the top fingertips. One more breath. And then exhale, take that left hand all the way down. Open that back foot up to a 90-degree angle, setting the heel. And inhale, come up into a warrior two and straighten out that front leg. Arms reaching forward and back. Keep the legs straight. Activate your left quadriceps. In fact, activate both sets and begin to reach forward as far as you can. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching forward. And then set your left hand down to your thigh or to your shin. Right hand to your hip. Keep it here for a moment. Press that bottom hand into the leg to help leverage and open up your ribs and chest. Try not to back bend here. Spine is long, core is engaged. Maybe pull your shoulders back a little bit for more space. And then right hand, instead of sweeping up and over, sweep it in front towards your face as it sweeps overhead, reaching out in front of you. Nice, really roll the heart open and then extend through those right fingertips. Press through the back foot, legs are engaged. Maybe look up towards the hand if that feels good. And then let's all look down for balance. Find a focal point, concentrate on it as you press into your feet. Inhale, come up, arms to a T. Flip the front palm up. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Reach that front hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Right hand can rest at the back leg or wrap around the back, stretching high through those left fingertips. Pressing into that left foot. One more breath. Then inhale, come back up, arms to a T. Left toes start to pivot to the side of your mat. Feet parallel, and then turn the toes slightly out. Find your little C grips with your hands, bend your knees, and create those little cups over your thighs. Press the thighs away, little rock side to side between the feet, maybe adjust your feet. Then as you come back to center, this time we're going to drop the left shoulder and open the chest to that right side. Press the thighs away, getting a nice opening through the spine, as well as into those hips. Chest back to center, press to the legs, come all the way up, feet parallel to each other. Turn the heels out slightly, so you get a nice little internal rotation of the hips, creating a little more space and tilt through the pelvis. Hands behind the back, interlace your fingers. Knuckles draw down as the heart lifts up, deep breath in, long spine. Let the palms separate if you'd like, and exhale, hinge at your waist, draping overhead. It's really common in wide leg forward folds, or any forward folds for that matter from standing, to let your weight sink back towards your heels. Can you feel equal weight placement between the heels and the toes? So let some of the weight shift forward in your feet and you'll feel a deeper stretch into your hamstrings as well. One more deep breath. Stay here, forward fold. You're gonna feel your knuckles start to reach towards your back again, and then release your hands down to the ground. Long spine, breath in, chest reaches forward. Walk your hands around to the front, pivot your feet, and this time we're going to step back and take a little child's pose. Drop your knees, sink your hips towards your heels, and just relax your spine here. Your knees can be wide or together, entirely up to you, but just let your head drop. Maybe it feels good to stack your hands underneath your forehead. Another breath or two. Now stay in your child's pose, but reach the arms long in front of you. Feel the elbows lift off the ground. And then come up onto your fingertips. So you're creating little tents with your hands. And then press your fingers down into the ground and imagine you're trying to pull the ground towards you. Take another breath. And then relax the elbows down and slowly lift your head. We're gonna come back into a tabletop position. So let's make our way into all fours. And this time we're gonna travel to the back of our mat so we have plenty of space in front of us. Coming into a puppy pose. So the hips are gonna stay stacked directly over the knees. Begin to walk the hands forward in front of you. So if you have really tight shoulders, or maybe you're dealing with a little bit of shoulder issues with the arms over your head, you can always do one arm and just kind of find another placement for the arm that needs a little modification, okay? Otherwise, from here, if you need more space, hands can walk a little wider or elbows can drop down. Otherwise, just start to melt your chest towards the ground. Let yourself sink in. Maybe your forehead drops. Maybe if you're feeling pretty open, your chest or chin will drop. Few breaths. Let everything melt through the heart. Looking forward. Slowly keep the elbows on the ground as you shift your chest forward and up. Maybe walk the forearms forward if you need more space until you can lower the hips forward and down, coming back into a Sphinx position. You can adjust, take as much time as you need. Okay. So we are going to take a slight variation of what we've already done, but it's going to target a different area into our arms and shoulders. So rather than just crossing the hands or crossing the arms, fingers pointing out, okay, you're gonna walk your right fingertips forward just a little bit. So now your right elbow is a little more forward than your left, okay? Not by much. Take your left arm and you're gonna bring the hand behind that right elbow with the palm facing upward, okay? Now, for this one, the hands are going to start to walk away in the direction they're currently pointing. So you're going to follow the direction of your fingertips. But I want you to lower your shoulder blades down towards the ground at the same time, nice and level. I don't want you to drop one side or the other side faster, okay? So right fingertips start to walk forward as the left fingertips start to walk out to that right side, and slowly just start to drop weight down, shoulders at the same time, dropping down onto that left arm, all the way into the tricep, into your delts. One more breath. As you lift the head, start to walk the arms back into that original position, and then back into Sphinx pose. Forearms parallel to each other. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. Walk the left fingertips slightly forward. Right hand reaches behind the back of that elbow, palm faces up. And then same thing, start to walk your hands away from each other, lowering the shoulders down at the same time. Let your weight sink heavy. If you feel any pinching through the front of the body, you can come out, reposition, find those angles, settle in. One more breath. As the head lifts up, slowly start to walk the elbows back in until you can come back into a Sphinx position. From Sphinx, forearms parallel to each other, palms are down, spread the fingers wide, legs are active, quads engage, feel the kneecaps lift, and then pull the ground towards you. As you pull the ground in towards the hips, feel your ribs pulling forward as the heart lifts tall. Close your eyes, a couple deep breaths. Nice little opening into the heart. And relax it here. Slowly start to open up the elbows wide as you lower your chest just to bring your hands all the way down to your sides. Let the head drop. Interlace the fingers behind your back and start to stretch the knuckles towards the back. And as you stretch the knuckles back, begin to lift up through your head and through your chest, but try not to pull with your head, okay? So the neck is nice and neutral. And as you draw back through the knuckles, activate your legs, reach through the toes, keep your legs no wider than your hips, and then just begin to float your legs up off the ground. Holding here. Each breath in, feel yourself lift a little higher, and then settling in on the exhale. One more. And then exhale, release, come all the way down. Your hands can drop to the sides and just drop one side of your face to the ground. Then let's do that one more time. Head back to center. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And as you interlace your fingers, I'm going to have you switch it up and interlace them the opposite way, so the opposite thumb on top, so it feels a little awkward. Draw back and inhale, peel your chest, peel your head off the ground. Nice active legs reaching out through the feet. Begin to peel your legs off the ground. Feel the hip points grounding down. Breath in, feel yourself lift. Feel yourself settle on the exhale. We're going to do that one more time, lifting up fullest expression. And then exhale, release. Release the hands. Drop the opposite cheek to the ground and rest. As the head comes to center, hands underneath your shoulders, press back into a tabletop, and once again, bring the knees together and just sink the hips towards the heels, rounding into your child's pose. It's probably going to feel good to keep the knees together this time so that you can really get the rounding of the back. And from here, walk the hands towards the knees as you sit back on your heels. If this position is not accessible for you at home, feel free to prop your hips up on something, pillow, bolster, block, whatever you have, books. Okay, and that way it just keeps your weight off of the feet, which takes some pressure out of the knees. Okay, we're gonna interlace the fingers one more time. Okay, this time we're gonna go for a little more compression or flexion of the spine. Plenty of places to stop. Okay, and I'll give you lots of variations. Nice. Interlace the fingers behind the back, draw the knuckles down, and feel your chin drop to your chest. Keep the chin at the chest the whole time. You're gonna start to round and curl your spine forward and down. So maybe you kind of stop halfway, and that's perfectly fine. If you can, keep curling until your head touches the ground. If the head touches the ground, keep the chin at your chest. You're not on your forehead, you're on the top of the head. Maybe you lift the hips off the heels and feel yourself roll onto the crown of your head and pull the arms away from that lower back, getting a deeper stretch into your shoulders. One last breath here. Hips melt down if they're lifted. Pull through the knuckles. Come all the way back up. Release your hands. Roll the shoulders just a couple times. All right. You're going to go ahead and sit off to a hip and sweep the legs all the way around. And we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Scooting all the way down. Hug the knees into your chest. Sway yourself side to side. Okay, as you come to center, set the feet down, soles of the feet together, and let the knees open up wide. So we're getting a little hip opening here. Left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly. And let the eyes drop back. Feel the heaviness. And yet also feel that lightness, that expansion. 2 more breaths here. Just let yourself surrender. You're going to keep your left leg right where it is. Lift your right knee up and draw it towards your chest, using your hands to pull it in a little closer, whether you're holding onto the knee, the shin, or the thigh. And as you pull it in, you're going to feel a nice opening into the hips. We're going to take this into a twist. So grab the knee with your left hand. Let your right arm fall out from the right shoulder. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, twist, pull the knee over to the left side and down. Maybe your head rolls over to the right side, and keep both shoulder blades firmly rooted at the floor. 2 more breaths, expanding on the inhale and feeling that release on the exhale. Last one. Head rolls back to center, knee lifts back up to center, and then set it down to meet the left into that butterfly position. Switching sides, left knee starts to lift up, draw it towards the chest, hands wrap around the leg to pull the knee closer. Feel that out first for about a breath. And then right hand holds onto the knee, left arm falls out to the side, deep breath in, and on the exhale, twist, pull the knee over to the right side, head can roll to the left, shoulder blades are grounded. One more breath. Head back to center, knee back to center. Lift your right knee, hug both knees to chest. Maybe lift your head up towards your knees, squeeze in nice and tight. Maybe give the knees a little kiss. And then let's come into Shavasana. Let your legs extend out. Maybe let them kind of fall off the mat. Hello. Feel your arms drop down to your sides. Slight tuck of the shoulders, just enough to let the chest find more space to roll open. Eyes drop back, and just a quick little breath here. Let's all exhale, let the breath out. Slow breath in from the belly all the way up. And on your own, just open your mouth and let everything out when you're ready. a full and complete surrender through the entire body. Let yourself just be here, be present, be still, and go deep below the surface where all the turbulence and movement is, and settle down into your depth. If you would like to stay longer, know that you always have that choice, that option to just settle in, hit pause, or just keep drifting off into your depth. Otherwise, if you're ready, we'll start to deepen the breath, expand it and circulate it throughout the body, feeling a little more physically awakened as you let movements trickle back into the fingertips and toes, working up into the wrists and ankles, and maybe feel the head sway a little bit, loosening up into the neck. Stretch the arms over your head, reaching down through your legs. And as you reach fingers and toes away from each other, give a little shifts in your hips. So lifting the left hip a little bit and then the right, stretching the opposite leg a little bit longer. And then pull the knees towards the chest as the hands wrap around the legs anyway. And sway left and right. Let's roll to the left side, our heart side, and just pause here for a brief moment to just appreciate our bodies and our practices exactly as they are. We learn so much from this practice, and one of the biggest learning lessons is how to love and take care of ourselves throughout this practice. So showing a little gratitude for wherever you are in it and all that your bodies can do. Right hand presses into the floor, lean into it as you come all the way upright into a seat of your choosing. Spine up, shoulders relaxed, eyes are closed, and hands come back together at heart center. Reconnect to the intention that you set at the very beginning. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you all through your practice today. Namaste. Thanks again for joining me. This is one of my favorite practices to be able to share. So hopefully the upper body is feeling a lot better, a lot more open and ready for the day or for your evening. Thank you, Erica, for your demos. Believe it or not, she had knee surgery only a few months ago, so happy to see her on the mat as well. Please let me know how you liked it. Leave a comment, a like, share with a friend, and please hit subscribe. We'll have more content coming your way soon. Thanks so much.